start off by saying congratulations on the brand new album. It's an absolutely brilliant album.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, I'm pretty wrapped with it, eh? Very proud of this one.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what was inspiring you guys when you sat down to work on this album, because we've had a pretty tough last 12 months.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was really hard for us, man. We were supposed to go to Europe for our third time last year, and go to the States as well and play Full Terror Soul with Exodus headlining. So we had all these plans, and of course, like every other band, they all just turned to shit. So, but then we just went, you know what? I think it's time to write a new album. We've been touring for so long on this last album, Fear, Parade and Myers. So we got together, went down out in the sticks down south of South Australia with a mate's studio, and we just got away without any internet reception and just hammered out 6 brand new tracks. That's kind of how it all started.
Awesome. So what was that like, just getting away from everything and concentrating on the album? Because that's not something that we can all do because of work and things like that. What was that like, being able to have that chance to just get away and work on it?
Yeah, we just kind of block the dates out. That's kind of how we work. We're all very, as everyone is, we're all very busy and get distracted by shiny objects. So, with this one, we just said if we're going to do it, we need to block out a good weekend rather than doing the weekly jams, and just do a solid weekend of rehearsing and just writing and just having fun, having a few beers, having a few laughs, and then just let the magic come out. So that's kind of how we planned this one. I think it worked out really well. No distractions and no social media and no girlfriends.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the covers that you guys did on this one as well, because you did a couple of covers. So how did you go about picking those tracks?
Well, as we toured Europe on our last European tour in 2019, we started to notice that people were coming up to us and asking us about Australiana sort of stuff, and we sort of went, maybe we should sort of just not change, but I guess like focus our anger a little bit more on the Aussie stuff. Just having that point of difference as a thrash metal band, just to stand out that little bit more. So when we started doing that, I'm on stage with a flanny like Mick Taylor of Wolf Creek, who wrote a song about that, A Place of Horror. And then I sort of came up with the idea, why don't we cover a chat song, because like they're doing really well and they've got that whole Ocker vibe but in a punk kind of element. And I said to the boys, we should cover one of their songs. We looked at Pub Feed and just sort of did like a Motorhead kind of version of it in our own way, I guess. And then Ultra Sacrifice, we've closed most of our shows with that song as like an encore.
Yeah.
For like ages, even before Paul was in the band on drums. So we finally went, let's record this one and get it out, because it's a bit of a short album as it is. So yeah. So
when you sit down to record a cover, how do you make it so that it's kind of uniquely yours, so it sounds like you, but you're also staying true to the original a little bit as well?
Oh, that's tricky. Yeah, like Pub Feed was pretty straightforward. Like I knew that if we did it, it would sound like us because we're a thrash metal band, and I knew Paul would throw in those those skank beats and double kicks where he could, and Phil would do his downstrokes on the guitar. So already that's gonna automatically sound like us doing their song, but the Slayer one was a lot harder, like getting the phrases of Tom Araya perfect, but still doing it in my lower kind of vocal range that I have.
Yeah.
But I think we came up with something pretty cool, and I'm really stoked with how it all went. Yeah.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about how Artillery got involved as well.
Yeah, well, I was their promoter, tour manager, booking agent for their Australian, Asia and New Zealand run. So we've been mates with the guys for a while because we toured China together.
Yep.
Back in 2014 when Paul just joined the band, back when we were like just released Addicted to Thrash and those sort of old classics. But then, we did that tour and we formed a good relationship, and then from there we did the European tour, and they gave us a gig in their hometown in Denmark.
Yeah.
Which was really nice of the guys. They were, really, really, we're really thankful that they did that for us, because we were desperate for extra shows during European summer, and they gave us one, which was sick. It was a good show too. It was packed.
Awesome.
And then from there, I brought them to Australia, formed a good relationship, and I said, I'd love for you guys to do a couple of solos on one of the new songs on the new album. And they did. Yeah, they gladly accepted, and that's how it came out. I'm really stoked with it too. I've got on a really sick Spotify playlist for that one. So, yeah.
Cool. Now, you worked with Dennis Cohone on this album as well. Tell us a little bit about Dennis and what he was like to work with.
Dennis was really cool. Like, we'd never really stepped out of using Andrew Kite, the guy we've used for the last two albums. So we've always been very comfortable with him mixing and mastering our stuff. But this album, I sort of made a point to the guy. I said, I think this one, I think we need to step outside of our comfort zone and get someone overseas to mix us, so we can sort of stand up, alongside European releases.
Yep.
And that's kind of how that came about. And I was listening to bands like Exuma and Sodom, and this guy Dennis came up, and I hit him up on soundbetter.com, and he got back to me, and he was really easy to work with, like really relaxed. And I think what he came up with was really good. I'm really happy with this mix. I think it really sets the bar for us, being up against those other European thrash bands. So, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about these shows as well. You guys must be absolutely gunning to go out and do these shows, because we've all been in lockdown and haven't been able to do much. So, how excited are you about heading out and being able to play these tracks live?
Oh, I'm so excited, man. It becomes a part of your life when you tour, you sort of do your daily grind at work, so you can, and you work flexible jobs so that you can get the time off to go on tour, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from you. And I was going mental in the last year, definitely mental health, I think that played a huge part in how I was feeling at the time, not being able to do what I love doing. But now that it's all slowly coming back with some smaller cap shows, it's awesome, and it's good to be back at it. So, yeah, so excited, mate. Keen.
Yeah. So how difficult has the last 12 months been for you guys? Because I know a lot of artists have really, really struggled over the last 12 months. What's it been like for you guys, and how have you managed to keep going with there being no shows?
Yeah, it's been tough, but it's given me a chance to really work on our socials a bit more and kind of go, you know what, we shouldn't be so reliant on playing shows. As much as I love playing shows, it should be 70% online, 30% in person, but before it was probably the other way around.
Yeah.
So now we've kind of had a new business plan in terms of now we need to actually have better content. We need to be, keeping our fans engaged on an email list, and it's given me a chance to do sort of some music business courses. And I'm really stoked with how it's all sort of panned out. As much as it's been sucks not playing live, it's sort of given me a chance to reassess everything and where the band is at, and go, you know what, we need to move forward here and start grabbing more fans online.
Yeah. And so where to now for the rest of 2021? The album's out, you're doing some shows. What have you guys got planned? Because I'm guessing overseas travel's still not something that you guys can really do.
Yeah, we've got this Aussie tour coming up, so we're doing, some places we haven't hit before, like Renmark is one, and we're doing Darwin, which we've never done before. We're hitting Alice Springs again, which we haven't done since playing the old Black and Open Air back in the day. So we're just slowly starting to do a few shows at the state, and then we may or may not have another tour planned in June with a fairly big headliner, but I won't say much more than that because I don't know if it's going to happen or not. So, yes, that's what I'll say for now.
Awesome. Well, I guess to finish up, what would you like to say to people out there before they go out and grab a copy of the album, and also before they grab some tickets to these shows?
I'd like to say, hey everyone, this is Chris from Hidden Intent, and if you like your old school thrash, be it Slayer, a bit of Megadeth, the Big Four for that matter, maybe with a bit of Sacred Reich thrown in there and some Mortal Sin, then I urge you to have a listen to our new album, Dead End Destiny, on your favourite streaming platform. But if you're a fan of old school physical, head over to hiddenintenofficial.com, grab a copy of some vinyl, CDs, shirts, and all that stuff. And we might see you on the road coming up in April. If not, maybe another time. Get a dog up here.
Awesome, mate. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been an absolute privilege, and we cannot wait to see you guys live.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. Cheers for having me.
All right, mate. I'll let you go back to work, but we'll talk soon.
All right.
Cheers, man. See ya. Bye.
See ya.